Our third lesson comes from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 13, verses 1 through 8, which can be found on page 50 in the Second Testament in your Pew Bible. Let us together listen for the voice of the Lord. As Jesus came out of the temple, one of his disciples said to him, "Look, teacher, what large stones and what a large building." Then Jesus asked him, "Do you see these great buildings? Not one stone will be left here upon another. All will be thrown down." Then when Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, which is opposite the temple, Peter, James, John, and Andrew asked him privately, "Tell us, teacher, when will this be? And what will be the sign that all these things are about to be accomplished?" Then Jesus began to say to them, "Beware that no one leads you astray. Many will come in my name and say, 'I am he,' and they will lead many others astray. When you hear of wars and rumors of wars, do not be alarmed. This must take place, but the end is still to come. For nation will rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. There will be earthquakes in various places, and there will be famines. This is but the beginning of birth pangs." Friends, this is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Anyone else notice that artificial Christmas trees and seasonal decorations started appearing in some stores in early to mid-September this year? Anybody else notice? Someone told me this past week that they actually heard Christmas music in a store the week before Halloween. And we have neighbors who put up their Christmas tree in mid-October while they were putting up their outdoor Halloween decorations. And one house in the neighborhood has a 15-foot tree made of string lights that shined with green, orange, and purple during October, but now has added blue, yellow, and red. Well, that was pretty genius. I get it. Let's get to something different as soon as we possibly can. Let's make moves toward the hint of hope and joy, even if it means putting up Christmas decorations earlier than ever before, or maybe, like some people I know, never taking them down. I get it. I mean, come on. If ever there was a time, this might be it. So let's sing the songs of promise at the top of our lungs. Let's go outside and dance in the rain. Let's watch funny pet videos or updates on the pygmy hippo Mudang. I know some of you, I'm your Facebook friend. Watching those videos late into the night, or let's be honest, early into the next morning. Make art without judgment. Draw, paint, write a haiku. Doesn't have to be good. Friends, decorate if you feel like it. Do it now. Hang the lights. Put up the tree. No need to apologize. We all need it. But while we do all of that, let's not miss the beautiful, long, drawn-out rhythms that give us space to find promise in the midst of sorrow, struggle, worry, and pain, or at least the possibility of discovering such things. Sometimes in our rush on to the next thing, we run the risk of missing something really important. It's one of the reasons that I love the Christmas or Christian liturgical year rhythms. I didn't grow up with those, and I'm so thankful that I found them, or that they found me. That liturgical year is laid out with seasons and holy days and changes of colors, blues, reds, white, purples, greens, and a variety of symbols, all of which are designed to help us notice, to just slow down a bit. take a look around, to sit with the things that otherwise, frankly, might make us uncomfortable. Today we find ourselves, you might not know this, but we find ourselves at the end of the longest season in the church calendar, ordinary time. And it's called ordinary not because it's ordinary. It's ordinary because it's counted. Throughout the last 6 months, our faith story has taken us through the ordinary journeys of people of faith, of saints, of comings and goings of the day-to-day. This time has helped us focus on the regular pace of life, to look for the ways and the places that God might meet us in the midst. And it's been quite a journey. Now these long 6 months are coming to a close, and we find ourselves on the precipice of something different, something new. In fact, in the Christian calendar, a new year begins in just 2 short weeks with the arrival of Advent. But right now, we find ourselves in a liminal space, a time in between, a time where one thing is drawing to a close and something new is yet to arrive. And we can look back with nostalgia or with thanksgiving or maybe even sorrow that a specific season has ended. And we can look forward to what may yet be, only with uneasiness or maybe anticipation. But we find ourselves right now, right here, in this liminal space. And even though it may feel like everything is coming to an end, it's really only just beginning. This is exactly where the disciples found themselves in our text this morning, on the cusp of one thing coming to an end and another thing about to begin, a liminal space. They were in Jerusalem with their teacher, their rabbi, Jesus, and they'd heard him talk about what was to come, but they didn't understand. There was really no way that they could understand. They knew what they had together. They'd spent years wandering the countryside full of wonder about what they had seen and heard along the way. The teachings, the signs, the conversations. And then there were these really strange stories of something else that was about to happen, something that could only be described with mysterious language and strange metaphors. These massive stones, Jesus said, that make up this impressive temple, not one will be left upon the other. All of them will be thrown down. Now, I think it's really important for us to know that this text was likely written either just before or maybe even just after the annihilation of Jerusalem during the first Jewish-Roman War in the year 70 CE. During this war, Jerusalem was sacked, and that magnificent temple built by Herod the Great, the one that took 80 years to finish, was completely destroyed. And if you were to visit Jerusalem today, you would see remnants of this destruction 2,000 years later. It's still there. It was a true cataclysm. Everything that they had known came to an end. They had to reimagine themselves, their community, their place in the world, their call. So regardless of whether the text was written sometime just before the devastation that was to come or sometime just after with the evidence of the demolition all around them, the message of this text, this what is called little apocalypse, is the same. Things are changing, Jesus told them. You will hear stories, he said. People will misuse my name. It will be challenging. In fact, it may even feel like everything is coming to an end. Then there is this curious little sentence right at the end of our text. These are the beginning of birth pangs, or these things are the beginning of the pains of childbirth. It may have felt like to them that everything was coming to an end, but to the contrary, Jesus said something was about to be born. Now, I've got to confess to you that if there was a word that I needed right now, that's the one. It may feel like something is coming to an end, but something else is about to be born. The questions that the disciples must have left with on that day, the questions that may indeed be ringing in our own minds and spirits, are, what exactly is being born? And when will it come to pass? Jesus' message to the disciples in the passage that comes right after our text was, keep awake, be alert, and work toward all of the things that you have been taught about the realm of the divine. Maybe that's the message for us too. Stay awake, be alert, work toward all of the things that we have been taught about the beauty of the realm of God. Now listen, let's not fool ourselves. This is going to take moral courage. But we can do it. And it's going to take all of us together. For as Dr. Deb Ronco told me this week, humans were not designed to give birth alone. So friends, let's be diligent. Let's commit ourselves to the work ahead of us. Let's seek beauty. Contribute to its existence in the world. Thank you, by the way. Let's devote ourselves to tending to those within our circle. Let's deepen our work for justice for the marginalized and the oppressed, those whose lives may get more difficult in the days and months ahead. Let's challenge systems together that are designed to disadvantage those who are already disadvantaged. Housing laws here in Indiana, access to life-sustaining and life-giving, life-saving healthcare, education. This is the work of our mission team. Let's name hatred for what it is and work to eliminate racism, homophobia, xenophobia, Islamophobia, transphobia, anti-Semitism, ageism, ableism, sexism, all of the death-dealing ideologies that separate us one from another. Let's commit ourselves to learning, to understanding, to compassion, to deep curiosity. And above all, let's double down on love. Radical, inclusive, celebratory, risky, foolish, unwavering love. There's nothing more potent or more powerful in the world than that. Take heart, my friends. Something new is about to be born, but we aren't made to birth it into the world alone. It will take all of us, every single one. When it's time, and we'll know, because we'll see the signs. We'll feel it. When it's time, breathe and push. Something new is being born. But this is just the beginning. To God be the glory. Amen.